Okay, yes, hello. Welcome to episode 31 of the Thicc Rage story. We are here in round 8 of 2020. It is Monza this time around. Having done the practice, we're going to take the traditional look into the R&D tree and see there is chassis and aero developments coming in the future. So, perhaps a bit of powertrain because I don't need to worry about durability anymore. There's only 2 races left after this one. And for the second of those last 2 races, I will be replacing everything wholesale on the engine. So, whoops, let's look at powertrain here. Energy recovery or fuel efficiency. Let's do fuel efficiency. Actually, can I do both? I can. So I will. Look at that. Okay, cool. So quick look at the standings before we go into it here. Valtteri still top of the leaderboards by 13 whole points with 3 races left to go. It is close. And myself, what's the math on that? 14 points better than teammate Lance Stroll. And Racing Point holding steady as best of the rest by nearly the double the points that McLaren has in 5th. So, sitting kind of pretty there. Not feeling too bad about it. Let's head into qualifying. Now, Monza is it's an interesting track. It's a classic. It's legendary for all the right reasons. But as far as driving, I have trouble at the Lesmo corners. And I was gonna say, if you've been watching, you know this by this point. I could have practiced, but I didn't. Just gonna try and make it work here. So we're gonna hit the track, see how she goes. Coming around the final corner, headed towards the start-finish line, and away we go. So DRS immediately a little bit tardy to that particular party, but that's okay. Gonna try and spot 125-ish. Take 6 gears, come around the corners. Do not overspin on the exit of this first chicane. That is my Achilles tendon on this track. Apart from obviously the Lesmo corners, which are just, God, it's different every year in every game with each different type of car, and none of it ever sticks. Only got to take 5 gears on this corner, attack that second chicane exit, and then right here we're going to try downshift and just coast through, try to keep tight to the line, and then power out in a straight line, hit 50, take 2 gears, tuck down to the corner, and again power in a straight line, and DRS number 2. On the run-up now to what I've said before and I'll say it again are my very favorite corners in racing, the Ascari chicane. So, 3 gears at 100. Whoa. Should be upshifting right on the exit. Unfortunately, not the best. I could have taken that, but that's totally fine. And for the final corner, gonna spot 50. Also take 3 gears and try to keep it close to the line if possible. Whoa. Car tuned in more than I thought it was gonna. I'm used to the practice sessions with more fuel in the car. So unfortunately, not the best lap in the world. Looks like I was in P10 coming around the corner. And yes, qualifying in 10th place, which is below where things ought to be, but that is unfortunately where I am skill-wise, and actually 2 full tenths ahead of teammate Lance Stroll, who qualified at P11. So still looking not bad as far as the teammate comparisons, who is obviously your first rival in any racing situation, because same machines, yada yada, same upgrades, blah blah blah. You know, you've heard it before, it's fine. We don't need to Will Buxton everything about it.
That's not exactly ideal.
It is not ideal, but we're going to make it work. Don't worry about it, Emma.
Cool head and make up for it in the race.
Cool head, make up for the race. Open hearts, clear minds can't lose, or whatever the saying is. That's fine. It's a dry race, and that's what's important. Not loving being in the middle of the pack going to that first corner, though, because that is, boy, that's risky business. So we're just going to have to try and survive here.
Points finished last race. Let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Okay, I'm liking going soft to mediums. I think I do want to just notch the pit stop back 1 lap, because going a longer on softs and mediums is frankly insane. So we're just gonna let that ride. 6 laps on the softs, 7 on the mediums. Extra lap worth of fuel, so I can turn it up. And we're gonna have to turn it up because there are long straights on this track. And I think that's all there is to say about that, really. So let's go for it. Oh, look at that beautiful AlphaTauri there on the left. Not their best design, but still pretty damn good. I believe, and I think I said this in the 2019 season as well, I believe their 2021 cars are my favorite F1 livery. Not special livery, but like just general livery. Whoa! Okay. Overshooting a little bit there. Yeah, they're off. I believe it's the 2021. If I'm wrong, I'll be sad about it because it was that, but with white rims. That looked very nice, or that livery looks very nice. My favorite special livery is the McLaren Senna livery they did a couple of Monaco races ago. That, oh, it's just an absolute winner of a livery. I gotta be honest. Okay, everyone takes Lesmo 1 later.
All right, we're looking good so
So that's good for me to have in the info banks. And 50 does seem to be the braking spot for Lesmo 2. So we're going to coast through here. Lean on the battery and DRS. Not DRS, I'm so sorry. Slipstream to try and get through there. Going to brake early here. Take an extra here because it is whiskey business all over again. Going to coast over the curb. Right, the sausage curb. Got squeezed by the retiring Seb Vettel. But up to P7 on lap 1. And I can no longer use the battery because I have expended all I can for this lap. Such a shame. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. And up to P7 at the end of lap 1. Did I take wing damage? No, I did not. But did wear out a third of the tires. Not a third of the tires. A tenth of the tires, but a third of where it ought to be come pit stop time. There's another AlphaTauri in the top 10. Damn, they crushed it. Something of a home race for them, so you got to expect they would want to turn up for this one. So fair play. Now, so there's a car. Vettel is close behind, so I am going to use some more battery here. Not the most advisable thing in the world, but we're going to make it work. Turn in early. Turn in early. Easy power application. Please. Alright, took an extra gear here just for the turn-in. Maybe not the most advisable thing. But hey, no harm, no foul. And we're now on the back of Pierre Gasly. Again, going to lean on the battery, but I should probably cut that out, if I'm honest. Going to brake a little earlier this time to get that better turn in here into the first half of Ascari. Or first third of Ascari, I guess. It is, in fact, a left-right-left, not just a left-right. So, is it really a chicane? I'm not sure if 3 corners a chicane makes. Hit the 50. Whoa. The back of that AlphaTauri was coming up quick on a boy. But, okay, so it's all clean. The sparks are flying. And we are on to the third lap. Ooh, Vettel's coming up quick on the inside. So we're going to try and outbrake him here. Ooh, he manages to keep it wheel to wheel, but going to use the positioning of the corners. Lando Norris is out of the race. Just seen that up top. Not going to be Silverstone blind to the top of screen notifications this time around. But you can kind of sort of always assume I'm going to be, unfortunately. And just trying to close up the gap to Pierre Gasly ahead. Because if Vettel's going to have DRS on me, I for sure want to have DRS on the car ahead of me. Whoop. Terrible exit, but we got DRS. Leaning on battery once again because it is recovering very quickly. Oh, he is now in the danger vortex, so I'm not going to try to box out Seb. Whoa, but he makes contact with me anyways, even though I was braking in a straight line. In his old age, he's not so good at seeing the distances no more. And I guess I should turn the fuel down now because I've burned through 3/4 of that extra lap's worth of fuel. So there goes my fighting advantage over the Ferrari behind, unfortunately. Ooh, better exit for me on the end of this last lap here. There's Lando on the side. Give him a wave, give him a smooch on the way past.
We're approaching the pit window.
And we're into green flag racing, so I'm going to try to pull Pierre out here. Tires are going and DRS, so I had to brake earlier. Whoa, no contact, please, thank you. Just got to keep her nice and steady on the throttle. Cannot tell you the amount of times I've spun out on this track by being a little too overzealous with the throttle application, but I'm sure that number is in the triple digits. Just, you know, anecdotally, it's a lot. Across all the games that I've played where I've raced on this track, all the F1 games since 2013 that have had it, plus, you know, Le Mans Ultimate, Automobilista, ACC, Gran Turismos. There's more, probably, Project Motor Racing. So, A lot of spinning for your boy here. Gonna brake early because he's gonna brake early. Avoid the sausages. Try to avoid the curbs entirely. They will unsettle the car. Gonna battery to get a little bit more slipstreamy if possible. And the battery is recovering real quick. And I like that. Maybe, no, I was gonna say maybe I won't replace the parts, but they're not gonna last all the way to the end of the year if I don't. So, just gonna have to trust in the drag reduction system. Pull him out wide, battery now, and try to actually get clear of him going into the first corner. Oh, smooth in, smooth out. And away we go. That felt pretty good. I like to say that in the real world racing, in the 2026 season, Pierre Gasly is one of only 2 drivers to have scored points in every race so far this season. The other being Lewis Hamilton. So that's some good company for Pierre. I feel, very underrated driver who has unfortunately had some bad luck tossed his way. Not the least of which was Red Bull giving him no chance to prove himself and then kicking him to the curb. But he did get a win for AlphaTauri afterward, and you love that for him. Whoop. I just realized I was not at the corner I was thinking I was, because I was yapping and looking at the timesheet. And once again, not going to catch up to the lead cars, unfortunately. Just got to try to make the best of what's happening here. But hopefully an undercut situation with the tires. I'm wondering if I should go to hards instead. I think I will, so they stay fresher longer.
Push now. We're boxing this lap.
I'm going to try it. Which means I'm also going to have to be more cognizant of the throttle, unfortunately. But I will burn that bridge when I cross it, you know? Just so that the tires last long, because these ones, the rear left was at 27%, which is hectic. That speaks to me putting the power down at the wrong time, unfortunately. If they were even wear on the back, then that'd be a little more respectable, but they aren't. Oh, I really gotta learn how to take these corners for next year. But opening up almost 5 seconds to Vettel behind. Gotta wonder what happened there. Gasly, I guess, has pitted. We didn't have any contact on the overtake, I'm fairly sure. So I'm not sure what happened there. Whoa. Just gotta be ever so gentle with the throttle. And now watch as I come around the final corner and almost definitely absolutely beef it on the pit entry. I wonder how much time collectively I've lost by entering the pits terribly. Oh, did I get a speeding penalty? No. Okay, I just got to brake a little earlier. I'm not going to feel bad about that because this truly is a weakness for me. So I'll just have to hit the brakes earlier, I suppose. Okay. Okay, I could practice that literally any time, but do I? No. That's 1000% on me and me alone. Gonna try to nail the pit stop from my end this time. Okay, okay. That's better than last round. Now I gotta find that pit line and hit the limiter at the right time. And I did it. Okay. Better than Spa, and now at the back of the pack. Ahead of Norris, I guess, who DNF'd, but the first pit stop of the race. So hopefully that means that I will be able to get back up to position, because 18 other cars still got to hit the pits. So we'll see how that plays out. Going to sort of use this lap as a feeler for putting the power down around the chicanes. It doesn't feel that different, actually. I just torched my engine a little bit there by over-revving. I forgot what gear I was in. Ooh, a lot more sliding out of that one. That's okay. But still a lot of fuel delta. A ton of battery coming out of the tire swap there. I'm gonna brake a little earlier. Just a casual left, right, left. Like we're marching in the army. Except I would never. Then again, I would also never drive a Formula One car. Nope. Don't got the neck muscles for it. Also don't have the money for it. Also, if I'm like this meh in video games, it's got to be infinitely more difficult in the real life, right? Like, it has to be, right? I understand some sim racers have translated to the endurance racing or the GT3 cars. This has got to be a different beast, right? Only making up 4 positions that time around, but still ahead of Vettel, so that's promising for where things will end up after everyone has hit the pits. Hopefully it's a good sign. We're on lap 8 of 13, so there's plenty of race left to go relative to the race's actual length. Well, that's a big gap ahead. Okay. Well, the car ahead is Verstappen, so he must have also pitted already, because he was ahead of me before I went to the pits, as is tradition. If I keep talking, no one will notice how bad I did the Lesmo corners, having lost a full second. Good lord. Okay. That is unfortunate for me. I'm going to turn the fuel up and try to make some of that back here.
Moving to mix 2, fuel to mix 2.
Listen, Jeff, not right now, okay? Actually, is there a shut up Jeff button? Engineer quiet. Let's just do that. Let's just, okay? Let's just. Almost cutting the grass a little bit there. But, no harm, no foul. Few mode down. An extra 1/10 of a lap is pretty okay. And we are back up to P8 that time around. So that feels pretty good. Okay. Corner 1. Corner 2. And we're off. Oof. Made more than half a second on Vettel through that first series of corners. Still not as good as it was before I ruined it with the Lesbos, but whatever. Cut the curb. Cut the curb. Okay, now Lesbo, be good to me. Nope, being bad to me. Well, I'm being bad to the corner, I suppose. No! Oh, you idiot. Okay, I gotta take more speed off going into it with these hard tires. I learned nothing from the last 2 laps. Oh, man. It's hard making garbage content, but someone has to do it. Oof. Alright. And we are away towards the final corner of lap 9. So it'll be 4 more racing laps after this. The fuel delta is coming up a very, very little bit, lap over lap, and that's not really a strategy or style thing. Ooh, more cars pitting. Okay, let's hit the battery and try to get some ground on them. And we're up to P6, which I believe is worse than where I was when I pitted, so unfortunate, but we're just going to have to take what we can get here. Ocon and Vettel duking it out behind. Their names swapped a couple of times on the screen. They're very distracting. And there's, what, like 2 tenths between them? 3 now? So hey, good for them. Let's hope they keep each other entertained. And by entertained, I mean busy. There's nothing entertaining about fighting with Crash Van Ocon. Easy smooth in, easy smooth out. More brakes here is in fact the ticket. Losing ground to Vettel behind. Unfortunate, but that's okay. And actually Vettel opening up the gap to Ocon behind, which makes sense. He is only in a Renault. Oof. Imagine being with Alpine after all of that Renault nonsense and like, woof. Flavio Briatore shouldn't be back in the sport, you know? It's weird that he's back in any position, let alone a position of power over anybody. But hey, money talks, I guess. So be it. Who am I to get political? We're on lap 11. This is the 3rd to last lap here. I'm coming away in P6, so it doesn't look like I'm going to get any more positions out of the pits for sure. Definitely not from fighting. Definitely not after that corner. Yike. Large yikes. Sizable even. So, just got to crawl through here. We're into Curva Grande. We're going to have a fun old time. Headed towards the second chicane. Gonna try and brake a little later this time. Because if I'm not going to catch up the cars ahead, I should at least try to open up some gap behind. So we're going to come here. So I guess... Ooh. I guess Lesmo 1 is less of a 90-degree than 2 is. Maybe I'm just approaching them backwards. I'm not sure. Definitely the right time for me to be learning this is while driving, you know? Not like I've had my entire life to figure it out. But up until this point. When I was 1 year old, I could have been playing F119. Anyways. Oh, hey, my friends. Come back. Come back. Anyways, what was I saying? Something about playing F1 2019 when I was a year old? Nah. That was before they even had color TVs. I wouldn't be able to play that game. I mean, well, I'm not that old, but like it feels like it sometimes on account of my various joint pains and personal qualms about the youths on my lawn. That's just the way she goes. Second last lap now. The car ahead is 7 seconds ahead. The car behind is 2.5 seconds behind. Kind of a no man's land, but Ocon and Vettel fighting each other back there. So hopefully they keep each other off of my own ass for 1.5 more laps. If not more. The delta not terribly different at the start of this lap. Or at this point from the start of the lap. So not a terrible corner. Second chicane. Felt like I really took a chunk out of the first curb there. Possibly not the most legal thing I've ever done in this game. Okay. Just try not to wreck it any more than I already have, which is twice. Which is more than Spa. I actually felt really good about my Spa drive. The result was whatever, obviously. But I always like driving Spa in any game because it's like... Oof, how do I compare this? I guess... I don't know, I mean, it's just familiar, you know? It's a nice track. The flow, aside from like maybe the first couple corners after Pouan, the flow of Spa is pretty great. And I say except for those two just because that's where I always like have trouble, especially in Le Mans Ultimate. Like locking up in the hypercars with no braking, regardless of brake balance or like the battery level. I don't know. Oh, I was going to say, why didn't Jeff tell me it's last lap? But I told him to stop talking. Rightfully so. He yaps. As do I. And so now see the cars behind are an extra second closer, more or less. Having done nothing different, I feel like, on my end. That's just the way the games go. But we're going to come through the second chicane for the last time. Head toward Lesmo's again. Probably lose all of my gap to the cars behind. And I realize part of why I'm not doing so hot this season is because I'm not attacking corners at all. And that I think is down to like just just down to the fear of punching myself in the balls when I turn the wheel too sharp. I'm gonna be honest. There's like I've got like as close as I can to a comfortable setup. If I lower the chair, the arms are too high. If I lower the or if I raise the wheel, I'm like giving myself elbow pain. Like it's just like casually Ocon shaving a half a second off for nothing, for absolutely nothing. I don't know, man. This game sometimes. Let me turn my fuel up here. I could have done that the entire last lap. Did I? No. Did not. But that's okay. Finishing the race in P6, well ahead of the teammate Lance Stroll. So that'll be a nice little boost. Points-wise, driver of the day. The big Ragu, the grand salami, Thicc Rage himself. Because of going up 4 positions from the start. I guess that's enough. And Lewis Hamilton winning the race. Verstappen not on the podium at all. So, a bigger gap for Battery Voltas in the championship standings, which is nice. And, ooh, Lance Stroll getting no points. Such a shame. Well, if he was better, he would have done it.
Your thoughts? Did you struggle to get through all that traffic today?
No, I did just, over the practice, I did give a boost to the power department, the powertrain, so it was no struggle. Ooh, more grip. Let's let the Aero team get some shine.
Do you have any comments about the collisions?
Well, wasn't deliberate. The car wasn't nimble. No, you know what? I'm not going to throw any team under the bus here.
Well, thanks anyway.
No problem. What's your name? I don't think we ever got her name. I know Emma's the agent. But that's, I think, unless they give the interviewer's name and then I just forgot it. My brain's bad, guys. Okay, so no fun challenges in the meanwhile, but plenty of upgrades to come and go. So tire blankets, great. The tire wear will be upgraded. Love that for me. Let's go to powertrain upgrade comes through. Do these both come through now here as well? Oh, almost.
I know we were expecting some new developments to come through, but some of them have failed the quality.
Don't even sweat it, guy.
Make sure you indicate what you'd like
Okay,
redeveloped.
we'll do that,
via
and then
the
let's see if the
R&D
game has
stream.
anything in mind in particular. Ooh, no, can I not afford anything else? No, I legitimately cannot. Okay, wait, what about this one? Nope. No, I just can't afford it all. Okay, cool. Well, that's fine. Ooh, where does that put us? Okay, back to number 3, but like, there's not even a pixel's difference there. So, let's go to the season break here. Ooh, look at all this gap. All right. Front wing main plane needs to be restarted. Let's do that. Do I have the points for it? I do. Let's do that then. And that'll be before the next race, I think I saw. Yes, okay. General durability. ERS cooling. Let's get our fingers crossed for that. And that does come through. In fact, marketing upgrade means nothing to me. The points are nice. And then the front wing main plate should just go through here. So
I
cool.
know we were expecting some new developments to come through, but some of them have failed the quality control.
Nah, but we're
Make sure
good.
you indicate what you'd like redeveloped via the R&D screen.
Don't even sweat it, my hombre. So let's go check out the race weekend for the penultimate round in Japan, the most beautiful of countries. Oh, hey, buddy.
They've announced that the technical regulations.
Oh, yeah, the regular. Whatever. That's not going to be a factor for me.
A lot of our hard work could be undone if we're not careful. So let's
Okay.
figure out how to mitigate this.
Mitigate.
Drivers, take a look at the developments we have.
Listen, man, I'm
Let
not
us
going
know
to change
what you
anything.
want
The
to
next game's
invest
going to be a
in
totally
protecting.
different game. It's going to have
All right,
no
everyone,
bearing
let's get on top of
whatsoever.
this.
Although I'm curious to see where, because next year it's Aston Martin, right? I don't remember where they were come the end of 2021. I mean, they were not 4th. Ooh, dry race in Japan. A little cloudy, but dry race in Japan. So that's good. Drive for qualifying. Kimi Räikkönen's going to retire as well. That's not as much of a surprise as Seb Vettel, but hey, that's the way she goes. So that was episode 31. That was I almost said Monaco. That was the Monza Grand Prix. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day. Make good choices. Japan is up next, so get ready for me to talk about my Japan trip again. But that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching, and bye.